Hey, it's Matthew David, and this video is for men that want to have abs over 40. Stay tuned and check it out. So I'm going to give you all the secrets right here. I'm going to tell you how it's done. How do I know? Well, I'm over 40 and I rock a six-pack pretty much all year round. Sometimes it's really defined with the veins coming up the stomach, and sometimes there's a little layer over it, but it's still a six-pack. And if you saw my diet, you would say, holy crap, dude, how in the heck are you keeping your body that fit? Well, I'm going to tell you how it's done. So first of all, you need power, you need output, you need an energy source. You need to be able to control the thing that you need. You need more energy, you need more power. You can't let age creep in, okay? Age should be replaced with the word decline. If you're declining, that doesn't mean you're aging gracefully, it means you're declining, okay? So the big secret is you gotta have minerals, man. Like, if you don't know about monatomics and minerals, you should look into it. Monotomia.com. Here's the thing. The late Dr. Fred Bell discovered that minerals are the highest of the food chain. So if you don't have minerals, you can't absorb vitamins. I repeat, you can't absorb your vitamins. Guess what? No energy. Your body's also bioelectric. So if you can't produce the right cellular function because you don't have the right raw materials, then you have cellular malfunction. And cellular malfunction is disease. Okay. Now, minerals are what are also responsible for controlling the hormones indirectly, because the minerals are the highest in the food chain. Then you have the vitamins, then you have the proteins, then you have the hormones. And hormones are everything. I repeat, hormones are everything. So you start at the high, you start at the top, and you put the right minerals in. I recommend you use the same kind I do, angstrom ionic sized minerals. They bypass the stomach. They're 99% absorbable, and they give you that base that the body needs. The body's 5% minerals, and that controls 95% of the rest of the body. Big secret. The soil's deficient. You're not getting it in the food, so you're deficient. And deficiency and toxicity are the root cause of disease, according to Raymond Francis, MIT trained biochemist, wrote the book Never Be Sick Again. How do I know this stuff? Well, I spent nearly 2 years bedridden with Lyme disease, okay? I was almost dead, and I spent over 12,000 hours of natural health research to build myself back up. And today, I train like a pro athlete. In my 40s, I got my health back. So I've earned my stripes in this arena. Let me just put it simple to you. Now, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not here to heal, prevent, treat, cure, or diagnose your disease. I'm a reverend, I'm a minister, and I'm talking to you about spiritual truth. And that's what you're going to get from me. So here's the thing. Minerals first, then high intensity, shorter workouts, okay? You don't want to do workouts that go long and prolonged because you'll build too much cortisol, and cortisol is the fat storing hormone. So if you have too much stress in your life, you're not getting enough sleep, you're out of balance, you're going to produce excess cortisol. That's not good. So what you want to do is you want to find a better balance in your life so that you can manage your cortisol. And most people are so stressed out, so worried. And if you're worried about finances and all these things, you just got to get right with God. I'm telling you, I'm a minister, and my 3-2-1 prosperity formula at my website, Matthew David Hurtado, will show you how I went from bedridden and bankrupt to getting my health back and building 7-figure income when I had no clue how to do it. I had no clue, no education, nothing. I'm just telling you that the same spiritual principles that work for me will work for anybody. So that's an answer. If you're struggling financially, if you got problems like that that are constantly eating away at you, well, you're not going to be able to optimize your well-being if you're constantly being torn in that direction, stressed to the max, because you're going to produce cortisol, you're going to lose sleep, and then you're going to look for more dopamine, you're going to look for more fast food fixes, etc. So let's get that straight. Let's get the two things out of the way that need to get out of the way. Now let's talk about something called testosterone. You know, as you age, you know that virtually everything you're putting in your mouth these days and drinking is full of what they call xenoestrogens. These are things that, chemical substances in all of the products and all the foods that we eat that mimic estrogen to the body, and the body starts to act as if it's had a bunch of estrogen, and that's why we have the word soy boy and all these other things today, where we have the decline of the alpha male. All right, so what do I do about that? Well, I use a product called Prostate Reset, and you can go to prostatereset.com, get your first bottle free and try it. It's diindol methane, 200 milligrams of diindol methane once a day, and what that comes from is it comes from broccoli, from cruciferous vegetables, and it cleanses the liver of the xenoestrogens, and it helps to reduce the estrogen dominance from all of these things that get inside of your body. You have to do this. You have to clean this stuff out because it's coming in through the plastics, through this. By all means, don't put any BPAs on your skin or anything like that. Your skin absorbs 10 times more than even digesting something. So don't put any of that stuff on you. Like men that wear like cologne all the time, that's like the worst. That stuff is so bad for your estrogen levels. Every time I smell somebody that smells really good, I look at them and I think, whoa, like no wonder they're kind of puffy, because they put that stuff on all day long and it sends a signal to the body that it's estrogen. These are just things to look out for, okay? Now, the other thing is intermittent fasting, or 1 meal a day. Now, as you age, you're going to notice that you're going to probably be a lot more, well, let's put it this way. You've recognized that food's not a god, okay? Food is not everything they told you it's cracked up to be, all right? So you don't need to like live to eat. You can eat to live. So what I'm saying is you can go extended periods without eating and you're not going to die. All right, you're not. It's not. You don't need to eat every 5 minutes, every 1 hour, like all these bodybuilders tell you. It's ridiculous. And a lot of these guys are just pudgy in the gym anyway. They eat constantly and they look like crap. And they call, oh, I'm on the off season. Well, you can do that when you're young and it's okay. Like, but when you get older, you don't want to carry excess body weight around. It's not healthy for you. If your waist is big and you're carrying fat, it's not healthy whatsoever, and it doesn't look good either, and it ruins your sex life, to be honest with you. So why do it? So here's the thing. Intermittent fasting is a super, super amazing way to reset your metabolism, to optimize your testosterone naturally. So what I recommend is look into it, learn how to do it. It's a wonderful thing. You basically fast most of the day. You're eating in an 8-hour window, and then you can eventually reduce that to a 4-hour window, and that's closer to the 1 meal a day diet if you want to get into that. But the less you consume, the better, because the body works better in a fasted state. Just to be honest with you, the body works better in a fasted state. Water's good, hydration's good, but you don't need to constantly consume, especially when most of the stuff you're eating is poison anyway. It's toxic, it has chemicals and all this stuff. So intermittent fasting, according to Dr. Axe, can improve your testosterone levels by like up to 400%, and your HGH, growth hormone levels, through the roof, through the roof. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So let's put it all together. You take your minerals, because that'll control the way you absorb vitamins, helps you produce energy. I work out twice a day, by the way. I work out like a pro athlete. I do like a 5-mile run, jog, sprint nearly every day, and I do a strength training workout, and this is after I was bedridden for almost 2 years. The body's miraculous if you give it what it needs. So, and I said my diet's pretty horrible. Well, since I eat most of my stuff in a shorter window, like an intermittent fasting window, I can get away with it. And so can you, most likely. See, it's when you eat all the time that it's just not good. Just look into intermittent fasting, okay? So then you do the intermittent fasting. You start optimizing. Get closer to OMAD, 1 meal a day. Shorten that window of when you consume your calories and put it in a smaller window and fast more often, and the body will get better. It'll reset the metabolism. Now, if you have diabetes and other issues like that, consult with your doctor and do this sensibly and logically. Don't just throw your health in jeopardy if you're really, really sick, etc. All right? Now, the other thing is your strength training. Focus on strength training that works compound muscles, so you release a lot of growth hormone, like squats, deadlifts, bench, things that produce a lot of growth hormone release. It's really good for you. See, with the fasting and the heavy training, you produce a lot of anti-aging natural growth hormone, and that helps you stay slimmer, stay leaner, and it also helps the testosterone levels. Okay, now HIIT training is great, doing short bursts. I like to run 5 miles a day just because I like to know that I can do it. But I was probably in better shape when I was just doing like short burst 15-minute HIIT training workouts. And I used to do that when I was really on point and I had the veins coming up the stomach and all that. It's actually better for you to do less because you're not producing as much cortisol, like I said. So train sensibly, and here's a little dirty secret, is that you can use, you know, if your doctor will give it to you, you can use HCG, and HCG at a low dose, like 15 IUs a day, can help preserve testosterone in the testicles. And see, the pituitary kicks out testosterone and then sends it to the testicles. And I found this out by going to an advanced sports medicine clinic. They did a reading of my testosterone output. They said my pituitary was pumping it out like crazy, but I had an issue in one of my testicles wasn't producing. And so at the time I was very estrogen dominant. Okay, I didn't know about the diindolylmethane. Again, the prostate reset, that's another key to help reduce the xenoestrogens. I was very estrogen dominant, and I was also eating a lot of soy. Don't eat any soy whatsoever. The reason why they use soy in farming is to make the livestock as fat as possible, as quick as possible. Stay away from soy. It's estrogen, by the way. So I started to clean up that stuff, and I started intermittent fasting, and I got thin, I got shredded fast. And what I did is I got a prescription for HCG from my doctor, and I run a low dose, 15 IUs. I do that like 3 times a year, three cycles a year. And what it did was it basically saved my testosterone. It preserved it in the testicles, and it helped me harden up and lean out real quick. And so I solved that problem by doing that. So I left nothing off the table here. That's my whole strategy. That's what I do. Of course, I use bodybuilding supplements once in a while. Like I'll use a pre-workout. I'll use, you know, whatever. I mean, they don't have anything really great on the market these days. There's no pro-hormones that are legal, nor would I recommend you use them because they can mess with your natural levels and mess you up pretty good. So you don't need to do any of that. With the intermittent fasting, you'll get your levels optimized. I mean, you'd be surprised when you get closer to 1 meal a day. You have so much energy. When I don't eat, like right now I'm fasted, I'll probably fast till dinner tonight. I'm gonna be able to get both my workouts done, and then what I'll do during my training is I'll drink on some amino acids, you know, something that's already ready-made, throw it in the shaker cup, drink some aminos, I'll hydrate, and my body's adapted to this. At first I'd get lightheaded, I'd get really kind of, you know, like, oh, I can't do this, but my body adapted, and so will yours. And it keeps me really lean. It keeps me really hard. It keeps me feeling really good. And those are the keys. If you start doing these things, each key will help you more and more and more. So I talked about, you know, minerals, mineralizing the body, monotomia.com. That's the best. You can use the same thing I do. It's wonderful with the magic formula. Get energy, be healthy, strong. You know, it's get moving, right? Number 2 was the prostate reset. You know, get those xenoestrogens cleansed out of the liver. Okay, and then number 3 was, you know, optimizing your training. Okay, because that's important. Don't do too much, but definitely do the stuff that releases the growth hormone, the testosterone, etc. Number 4 is the intermittent fasting, closer to OMAD. Let your body reset, let it readapt. And then number 5, you know, I talked about, you know, a lot of people I know, a lot of guys that I know, they use things to help them every now and then. Some guys are using testosterone over 40 because they need it. Doctors will give it to them. I personally don't like to use testosterone. I don't want to become like addicted to it, like I have to use it for the rest of my life, because the diet alone with the intermittent fasting and the training helps me produce enough. And then what I do is I preserve it in the body by running a low dose of HCG that my doctor will give me a script for a few times a year. And I get my doctor online for that. So That's how I do it.
Listen, there are two types of people in this world. People who believe they can, and people who believe they can't. I'm pretty sure you already know who I am. You see this? Mocaine. This is my secret. You know, probably you never heard of it because you are swinging around your local coffee shop and congregate with the sheep. Bah, bah. What's wrong with you anyway? So what you waiting for? Go on mocaine.com and little Tony will ship you some little baggies, risk-free, to try out. You should be killing it. You should be living like me. You should be living like me. But you ain't, right? You're missing this. This is the secret. This is the fuel to complete your mission. I'm putting powder all over the streets. I don't want to hear any more excuses, okay? You work for me now. I want you to be my customer. Go on mocaine.com and do the Mocaine Miracle Morning. I'm not gonna ask you again.